Juggernaut!
Today, we are looking at the 2022 Hasbro Marvel Legends Morph from the X-Men animated series wave. He is the most anticipated action figure for this particular BHS line. A big thank you to Rambling Rob for my new intro. I find his channel very helpful, especially in terms of the reading order of comic book events. Please check out his channel and subscribe. The figure comes in the X-Men VHS style of packaging, plastic free except for the tape and glue, and at the back is a short read up and a good character art in front. Out of the packaging, here we have Morph with a brand new head sculpt that closely resembles the art of Morph in the X-Men animated series. As you can see, it is a neutral head, while the crazy head is an alternate head with some alternate open palm hands. You can see here the cell shading from his legs. In terms of the torso, the cell shading is on his chest and some parts of his jacket. In terms of the face, you can see that this uses the photoreal technology for the eyes. In terms of the hair, it's a bit close but not exact to how the hair looks like in terms of the animated series. And in the animated series, he has a longer face in terms of the chin. This is just a bit alright because they're trying to take a realistic look of the character instead of the animated series look. As you can see here, he comes with a pair of open palm hands, both different in terms of the position of his fingers. It can hinge forward and back. In terms of his torso, he can crunch forwards that far and his head can look down like that. In terms of the alternate head, which is the evil head of Morph, the color of his flesh is human flesh. It is different from how it looks like in the animated series, because in the animated series, this head is supposed to be yellow along with his hands. So I understand why Hasbro decided to make the head flesh so that they don't need to bother giving us yellow hands. In terms of the back, you can see nothing much going on. There is no cell shading done for the back. From behind, he does look like Cyclops with the leather jacket. So besides Cyclops from the 3-pack with Wolverine and Jean Grey, you can see some differences in terms of the paint deco for the jacket, but it's the same jacket with a different color plastic. In terms of the legs, you can see for Morph, the bands on his legs are glued on, unlike Cyclops, which is loose. I heard some people glued on the bands for Cyclops because for the upper thigh and the lower calf, the bands kept on falling down. So this is a big improvement, and I'm glad that Hasbro listened to their fans. The first appearance of the character Morph is in the 1992 X-Men animated series. He is Morph Earth 92131, which is the universe designation of the X-Men animated series. Here are the other X-Men animated series with their corresponding universe number. The power of Morph is to simply shapeshift, similar to Mystique. He can take any form that he likes. He is supposed to be a throwaway character. According to the showrunners, the Leewalds, they were looking for a particular mutant that is not so popular. One mutant that they considered was Thunderbird, which only lasted for a few issues in the X-Men comic books. He sacrificed his life. Similarly, this was the role that Morph is supposed to do. to be the sacrifice. But fans wanted him back, so the Leewalds brought him back, but this time as an evil and conflicted character. Removing the cell shading does not make a morph of the 616 universe, because the morph in the 616 universe is different. It is Benjamin Deeds. He is part of the second generation X. He made his first comic book appearance in 2012, which is 10 years from the time that the character Morph was introduced in the animated series. He joined Cyclops' Revolution team as a student being trained by Cyclops, Emma Frost, Magneto, and Magic. Emma Frost was able to unlock Benjamin's potential. She discovered that besides being able to morph or copy other people, whenever Benjamin does copy somebody, he releases some kind of chemical component that makes the person he is copying like him more. The codename Morph was given to him by Emma Frost. The very popular Morph in comic books is Morph Earth 295, which is the alternate universe Age of Apocalypse. There is another Morph that looks exactly like the Age of Apocalypse one, and this is Morph of Earth 1081. He joined the team, the Exiles. In the upcoming X-Men 97, it was revealed in San Diego Comic-Con that there is a character that looks like Morph, but the head is the same as the Age of Apocalypse one. Let me know in the comments, what is your guess? Is this Morph or is this actually Darwin? Now, using the head of Morph Earth 295, you can see that it fits just right in the body of the Morph from the animated series. Without the head, the body mold has a ball peg with a hinge. This is common for most male body molds. That is why you can put on any particular head, male head. Here is Cyclops with a civilian head. It rather sits high though for this particular head, and you can see the hinge at the bottom of his chin. Next we have Wolverine from the Amazon exclusive 5-pack with the villains. He is able to hide the hinge really well and fits just right in. Next we have is Toad, which is a rather small head, and it looks strange in this particular body mold. In terms of articulation, Morph has a single jointed elbow without pins and double jointed knees without pin. Whenever you swivel the upper thigh or the lower calf, the cell shading lines break. So it's very obvious that it was moved from its normal or rather resting pose. Now, if you crunch forward, you can see a gap between the upper and lower torso. That's how far he can crunch backwards, and here he is crunching forward. That's how far Morph can crunch forward. Again, you can see that the cell shading breaks when you swivel the lower cap. Here is a more clear view of what it looks like when you swivel the lower cap. The cell shading is not in line. I guess that's the problem with having cell shaded figures. The Morph action figure stands 16.2 centimeters or 6.4 inch. I cannot seem to find the exact height of Morph, but he does look like a regular size male. Here is Morph besides the recently reviewed X-Men Retro Wolverine and the Deadpool in white suit. Here he is besides Stepford Coco's Irma and Satana. Here he is besides the Renewer Vows, Spider-Man, and Spinneret. Here he is besides some of the X-Men from the animated series. Here is Beast, Jean Grey, Storm, Cyclops, Wolverine, Jubilee, and Rogue. Here he is besides other villains. which appeared as well in the animated series. We have the Retro Apocalypse, the cel-shaded Mystique, we have Mr. Sinister, the Retro Avalanche, and we have Pyro. Here he is besides some members of the X-Men Revolution team led by Cyclops. We have the Stefford Cocos, Magic, Magneto, and Emma Frost. Here he is besides the 3.75-inch scale Sentinel, and we have the 6-inch scale Strong Guy. For some 7-inch scale comparison, we have him besides the Juggernaut, Colossus, and Sabretooth. Here he is besides a Kit Bash using the Professor X movie body with his regular head to make a Benjamin Deeds, but the head is too big for this body. And on the right, we have the Age of Apocalypse Morph. The good. This is an acceptable action figure representation of Morph from the animated series. He comes with sufficient alternate hands and alternate head. The bad. He does not come with any gripping hands. And in terms of the paint, the mad or crazy or evil head sculpt is supposed to be yellow skin. Recently, Hasbro revealed the Spider-Man Retro Wave, and it seems to be a trend that Hasbro is minimizing the number of accessories included per figure. The overall verdict is it is still a good action figure for the most anticipated member of the X-Men animated series roster. Thank you for watching, and thank you for helping my channel reach over 500 subscribers. In the next days, hopefully I'll be able to review the new X-Men action figures, which should arrive in our shop probably in a week or so. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, and ring the notification bell.